Link TV, connecting you to the world. Link TV is viewer supported. Watch more at linktv.org.
Western nations appear reluctant to commit to a binding agreement at next month's Copenhagen Climate Conference.
The African countries boycotted some of the talks to protest at inadequate promises by developed nations for cutting greenhouse gas emissions.
Africa has contributed virtually nothing to global warming.
More than 23 million people are threatened. Climate change is mainly to blame.
Next on Global Pulse. A comparison of how broadcasters worldwide are covering Africa's stand on climate change. The Climate Change Conference in Copenhagen is an attempt to replace the expiring Kyoto Protocol with a more balanced agreement. But there's nothing balanced about the effects of climate change. Africa has contributed the least to climate change, but is the most vulnerable. This map resizes the world based on CO2 emissions. Africa accounts for 14% of the world's population, but only emits 3% of its CO2. People in countries from East Africa to West Africa are suffering from too much or too little water. The BBC and Al Jazeera explain.
This was once home, now wrecked by floods. In one village in Mali, just trying to cross the street here is difficult. Neighbouring Burkina Faso, a dam has burst. In Mauritania, people flee with their meagre belongings, coming to camps like these. In Senegal, the UN says that climate change is a key factor in these floods. Some West African leaders want a conference linking climate change to the floods.
The rhythm of a devastating drought. This family has turned to a last resort. Nuts from the palm trees are their only means of suppressing hunger for a few hours. Natira Kwa selects the weakest goats for slaughter. The drought has already killed off more than 100 of her animals. If we lose the whole herd, she says, the children will die and then we will follow them.
The change in climate is also decimating animals, as well as one of Africa's most famous snowcaps, as South Africa's SABC and China's CCTV report.
The new study says that ice on Mount Kilimanjaro, the African mountain, is rapidly melting. The white-capped mountain lost 26% of its ice cover between 2000 and 2007. The research blames warmer temperatures due to climate change. Kilimanjaro ice can be dated back 11,700 years.
The victims of Kenya's devastating drought. These are the youngest to be rescued. Too weak for the long walks in search of food and water, their mothers abandoned them. Others watched their mothers die.
Animals are dying all over. There's no water, there's no vegetation, and there's no food for them, so they can't survive.
The elephant death toll stands at 263, and the fear is that if the rain does not come, that figure will continue to rise.
African leaders met on both sides of the continent with controversial demands, as Kenya's NTV and France's TV5 report.
Africa is equally a victim of global warming. The continent that is the least of the world's polluters, but the most vulnerable, is asking for reparations from northern countries. The demand was made yesterday in Ouagadougou during a global forum for sustainable development. Africa estimates that it will need 44 billion euros to cope with the current climate imbalance.
Poor nations want rich countries to cut emissions by 40% by the year 2020. Ethiopian Prime Minister Meles Zenawi, who has threatened a walkout of the 52 African nations from the Copenhagen summit, says the December climate change talks should secure a fair climate change deal for Africa.
Africa has contributed virtually nothing to global warming. Key point for Africa is adaptation, that is compensation for the damage caused by the developed countries.
Do you think Africa deserves reparations for the pollution caused by the developed world? Tell us what you think. Go to our website and leave us a comment. Also, Link TV is partnering with newstrust.net this week to find good journalism on climate change. Join us on our news search. Go to newstrust.net/linktv. For Global Pulse, I'm Erin Coker.
Link TV is the only U.S. network dedicated to global and national news, uncompromising documentaries, and diverse cultural programs. Programs which connect you to the world. To learn more, visit linktv.org.